Hi friends, and welcome to my Flosstube channel. My name is Amanda Mae, and this is my channel Ardith Design, where we celebrate counted cross stitch needlework and stitching, all the things. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, I'm so happy you came back to spend some time with me today. I am going to show you my Halloween and autumn finishes from years past. I have fully finishes as well as the stuff that's still in my to be finished box, or under the bed box, or I know some people call it the box of shame, but I call it the box of many possibilities. I want to show you, I got a happy mail from a wonderful viewer and subscriber. I want to show you what she sent me. I want to show you, I have two projects that I have finished. They are not fully finished, but they are two finished cross-stitch projects. So I want to show you that. I want to show you, I have finished a quilt. I want to show you that. And I have my dining room table here full of my finishes that I want to put out and display, and I want you to see it. So I'm going to show you, and then after the video is over, I'm going to go put it in my house and go decorate with it. So let's get started. All right. First, I want to show you a finish, and then, oh, I forgot. I do want to talk about a couple of announcements. So I'm going to show you a finish, and then we'll talk announcements. So first things first, I started and finished a pumpkin farm. This is by Blackbird Designs. I picked up this chart when I went to Country Sampler in August, so last month. So I started and finished this. Very happy with it. I used a bunch of different colors to complete it. Most of these are from the Color and Cotton monthly thread club I'm a part of. Every month I get 3 skeins of each. So I get like the primitive, the bright variegated, and then the all colors. So I get 3 from each of those. So I get 9 colors a month. I've participated in the club for, I want to say, going on 2 years now. Not sponsored, no discounts, nothing. I just like the floss, the over-dyed floss, the 6-strand cotton embroidery floss. So I have supported her, and so that's been cool. She transitioned from doing her colors that she had tried and true colors consistently to now everything she's doing is limited edition, and she's doing like theme. So each month is a different kind of color pack to go along with the theme. So for September, I got some autumn colors, and so I immediately just used those to stitch. I also pulled from my stash of other threads and floss that I have in my collection. I have my designer threads and flosses that are in my office that are only used for designing, and then I have my personal collection. So I have been working a lot on accumulating my own personal collection to stitch with, so they are separate. So I use the XJU design. It's like a brown I got from her Christmas box a couple years ago. Some limited edition Gentle Art colors. I picked up some mystery grab bag thread bags, floss bags at this year's Nashville Needlework Market. So they sold like the mystery bags, so I picked up some of those. So I used those, and then yeah, so limited editions, and then Color and Cotton stuff. So these are limited edition Gentle Art, and then I used Color and Cotton pumpkin spice, cilantro. Oh, this is Gentle Art burlap. I use burlap, and Color and Cotton bay leaf. So these are the colors that I used. And then I had a piece of fabric left. This is Stars Hallow. Stars Hallow is by R&R Reproductions, and that's Anne and Pat down at Dying to Stitch in Virginia Beach. That is their dye company. So I used the piece, and this is what I stitched. So let me pull it up a little better. So I went ahead and I did do some modifications. So in this chart, it says Ben here, B-E-N, and then there's a J here, and then, oops, and then there's the date here. So I omitted those 3 things, and instead I went ahead, see how this goes down the side? I went ahead and just carried that border all the way down and left out the year completely. And then I added just some little dotty dots there, little triangles. And then the Ben part, I went ahead and just added this little thing. And then there's these acorns. I put all the acorns in, and then instead of a J, I put a G, and I put a G for my son. His name starts with a G, so I did that. And then I left the A, that's as charted, and then everything else. And I'm really happy with it. Oh, I made a mistake on the windows. So this window is supposed to be down 1 row on both sides, but I had already started, I'm like, I'm not pulling it out. It looks just fine. So the windows are up one row up higher than they should be, but I think it looks really precious, and I'm really happy with it. So it's all done. I don't know if I'm going to finish this on a pillow or if I'll put it in a little frame. I think it's super cute. So the finish is in a frame. This is part of the anniversary of the heart season. I think they started reprinting this chart, so it's available. So here is my little finish. Yay. Oh, I use 2 strands of my floss over 2 linen threads when I stitch on 32 count, and this is a 36 count. And I use 2 strands as well. I like how saturated the colors look with the 2 strands. It would have looked fine. It would have looked pretty with just 1 strand as well. So, you know, use your own judgment and how you feel. So there's that. All right, I want to do announcements. Announcements. I have a couple of things to tell you. So I've alluded in the past, last episode, that while I haven't had any like new releases, I have been working behind the scenes. I've been working hard. Well, I've been working hard to do some releases. So Leslie LaFleur of Under the Sea Fabrics, her company, her shop and her dye studio, she's located in Texas, and they put out a spooky box or a Halloween inspired box, but it's not explicitly Halloween. I think she calls it the Cabinet of Curiosities. So it's their 2nd year doing that box, and she asked me to design something for that box, and I said, yes, please. So I designed something for that, and that is going to be coming out soon. I believe she has a few boxes left. If you are interested in the box, it's all surprise stuff, so I can't tell you what it is or show you anything. But the awesome thing about this is the whole project is kitted. So you get my design that's custom to that box, an exclusive to that box, and it's exclusive to Under the Sea Fabrics. You get the design, you get the fabric that I put it on. So Leslie dyed that specific color. I did a chart. It's a cross stitch chart, but it has beading on it, and all the beads and all of the charm, like the beads, all that stuff is included. Then I used Forbidden Fiber Cove Leanne. She does over dyed 6-strand cotton embroidery floss. She also dyes yarn and does other stuff, but so Forbidden Fiber Co, I use some of her colors. It also uses a metallic, which is one of the ones that I love using stitching with, and as well as just cotton embroidery floss. So it's got a lot of components. It's really cool. I went out of my comfort zone with my design. I have never designed something like this before. Really excited about it. Leslie has been amazing to work with. Absolutely amazing. And I cannot wait to see all of the other things that are included in this box. So I'm going to put the link below. I don't know as of yet if it's sold out or not, but I'm going to link below to her company. So Under the Sea Fabrics. Yay! Woo! All right. The next announcement. Ta-da-da-da! I feel like I need like Pam and Stuff of Just Keep Stitching. They have like a kazoo, and they're like, I think they have a tambourine, and they have a whip, and they have all of these like really fun. I need a da-da-da-da! I need my own little musical instrument to say, I have more news. I am going to be, oh my gosh. Okay, I am going to be presenting at the Cape May, New Jersey Stitch by Stitch Winter Retreat this November, November 10th and 11th. It's a Friday and a Saturday. It's a 2-day retreat in Cape May, New Jersey. I am going to be the retreat speaker, presenter. Woo! I'm so excited. So I have done a custom design and put together a full box for all the retreat attendees. I personally have, so I've designed and I've curated the box, and I have coordinated and worked with several other companies to put this box together, and I'm so excited. So I am going to be the presenter. I'm going to do a talk, and then that Friday night it's a make and take project. I worked with a company and got a kit put together for that, so I'm going to show you how to put together something for the make and take. And so there's that custom project for make and take. And then, so that's on Friday night. And then Saturday, there's obviously time for you to stitch. And then I'm going to do a talk, and then I'm going to present my new design. And then I believe Sharon and the other retreat exhibitor, the retreat facilitators, the directors, the owners of the retreat. I can't think of my words. I'm so excited. I'm like, ah! They're going to have some other stuff. There's going to be an ornament exchange if you want to participate in that. And I am so excited. So I'm going to be driving up to New Jersey for the retreat. I have never been to Cape May, and I did a bunch of Googling on it, and it is like a seaside, like resort town with like beautiful Victorian houses, and the square looks amazing. The downtown area, I'm like, it looks like it's so picturesque, but it's not going to be hot and humid because the retreat's going to be in November. So I'm going to be like bundled at the beach, and then I'm going to be stitching and presenting. It's like all the things. So I'm so excited for that. If you would like to attend that retreat, it's the Friday, Saturday, November 10th and 11th. They have some spots still open. If you would like to contact the shop and see about participating or attending the retreat, I will have the email down below and the website down below for Stitch by Stitch in Cape May, New Jersey, if you are interested. For my Maryland Stitchers, I Googled it. From my house, it looks like it's a 4-hour drive. So it's a bit of a trek. I have not been to New Jersey in a long time. It's been over 10 years since I've been to New Jersey. So this will be quite an adventure. So I have a brand new design exclusive to Stitch by Stitch coming out in November at their retreat. So exciting. I can't wait. So that is what I have been up to. If you have the desire, inclination, time, money to come to New Jersey, that is, just putting it out there. I'll be there. Yay. Okay. All right. I'm done with my announcements. I want to show you more things. I went to the thrift store. I know, surprise, surprise. Amanda Mae went to a thrift store. My husband started a new job, but he had taken one day off and before the new job. Anyway, we went up to Hampstead, Maryland, and we went to lunch at this like amazing barbecue place. They make the most amazing like barbecue brisket burrito. I'm from California, so anytime you can put anything in a burrito, I'm like there for it. I like, if it's in a burrito, I'm like, yes, yes, please. Anyway, their barbecue brisket burrito at Outlaw Barbecue. We did that, and then we went thrift store shopping. I found this at the thrift store. It is dated from last year. The person did it. It's finished on a B-skep. It's got the wool, and I don't know if this is punch needle or rug hooking, but then it's got the felt flowers. I love it so much, so I immediately bought it. My husband's like, what is that? I'm like, it's amazing, that's what it is. So I got it, and I'm putting this, I've already put this out on display. Fun fact, someone at the Maryland State Fair won for this design, so I don't know if there was a class or something in this past year that someone attended. Anyway, I saw this displayed at the fair, and then I got this one. I don't think, this wasn't the person who entered the fair, if that makes sense. This was another one maybe that took the same class. Anywho, I got that, so that was a thrift store find. And I've got a couple other thrift store finds that I've shown you guys and gals and stitchers over the years, but I have the pile. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, I got Happy Mail. So a wonderful lady, her name is Sally. Hi, Sally. Thank you, Sally. Sent me a beautiful card, and she asked me if I would be interested in a couple of her needlework and embroidery books. She is downsizing, moving and downsizing, and asked if I was interested in some books. And she gave me the list of books. I'm like, yes, those books. Yes, thank you so much. So she immediately post haste sent me these books, and she included a couple other little goodies for me. So thank you so much, Sally. I want to show you what she sent me. So I collect a lot of things. It's kind of a problem. I collect cribbage boards, vintage textiles. Obviously, anytime I see cross stitch, I pick it up at the thrift store if I can afford it and if it's meant to be. So cribbage boards. I collect vintage My Little Pony. I know. Anyway, one of the other things that I find and collect is vintage aprons. I love kitchen aprons. Well, I am a big girl, so kitchen aprons from way back when are very small on me. Nevertheless, they're still adorable. I still love them. I still have a collection of them. I have about 20. And I have ones that are like the sheer lace, and you're like, there's no way anyone ever wore that. It's too pretty, and if you spill spaghetti sauce on it one time, it's ruined. Anyway, I have vintage aprons. I love vintage tea towels. I love all the things. So Sally asked if I was interested in this book, and I said, yes, please. So this is the Kitchen Linens book, Using, Sharing, and Cherishing the Fabrics of Our Daily Lives. And this is so precious. It is an awesome book. And then in the back, it has some of the transfers. So you can do those vintage inspired transfers on your own tea towels. And I love the anthropomorphic. there's teapots, jumping rope, doing laundry and all the things. Oh, that's another thing I collect. I collect vintage washboards. Hi, it's past Amanda here, so I'm telling you that I collect washboards. So I wanted to show you right here my little washboard collection real fast. So I got this at a thrift store. It's for 2 lights, but I've only got one, and that's okay. I've got this little miniature one here with a painting. It's like an autumn painting of a covered bridge. I think I got this like at Target. And then I have a couple others that I got on my travels. I went and bought samplers a couple years ago in Virginia and I bought this from the lady. I bought her samplers, and then I bought this. I've got like my laundry stuff here. I gotta hang this in another spot. But I painted this last year, hung these up. I wanted to show you, so I love baskets. It's kind of a problem that I have. So I got these little hook thingies that are magnets, and then I put my flowers. Oh, and my baby doll. Hi, sweetie. Here's Luna Pug. She says hi. She says, don't look at the washboards, look at my cute face. So I got some hanging hardware, and I attached it on the back so I can get these up on the wall. And as you can see, I have space for a little bit more once they come into my life. This one, the Snow White one, is my most recent one. It's glass that I got, and I added a back to it. This one I got from my in-laws, and it was from their home in Wisconsin, and it's nice and used and weathered. Again, just decorative ones, and then, you know, real ones, a Busy Bee. So that's one of my little collections. Yeah, so I have I have collections. Anyway, so this book, so I'm so excited for this. It's Apron Archaeologist Elaine and Giselle makes her humble subject a source of vivid history and humor, affecting even skeptics. And I admit I was one, with her passion and enthusiasm. Since our interview aired, I've heard nothing but positive comments about her and her apron journey. So that was one of the reviews for the books. The second book she sent me is a book that I have wanted. It is out of print. This is historic samplers selected from museums and historical homes with 30 cross-stitch charts for authentic reproduction. And it's by Patricia Ryan. So Pat Ryan, she is the fabric dyer for R&R Reproductions fabric. So so R&R Reproductions. She wrote this book with Alan. So I've wanted this book, and now I have it. Yay! Oh, here's a picture. The cover, the picture from back in the day. And I'm really excited to have this book, and I have only like thumbed through it. I haven't like dove in and started reading it yet, but I'm really excited. And then the third book is awesome. It's one of those books that I didn't even know about, but I'm so glad I have it now. It's 18th Century Embroidery Techniques by Gail Marsh. Oh my gosh, look at that. Gorgeous. So I'm so excited to go through this book and like read about it and see some of the motifs and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, the detail of the front side of the Spencer showing the attractive border and flower motif, and it's got like the gold work on it. Oh my gosh, so pretty. So those are the 3 books she sent me. And then she included a couple of little surprises. And I was like, oh my God. So she sent me the Primitive Hair Spooky Countdown. And I've seen a bunch of people on Instagram post their finishes of years past of the Spooky Countdown. So you can finish it like a calendar where you stitch the whole thing on one piece. Or you can finish it where you do each individual day and like finish them as like little pillows or little, like, it looks like here she finished them in like little squares that stack. So I really like this pattern. This came out a couple years ago. So lovely. So she gave me that. And then the drawn thread, a Little Bits of Christmas. And I love them all. but I really like this one. It says peace, love, and joy down below. Super pretty. And then she sent me a Teresa Kogut pattern. I think Teresa is so talented. She's done some fabric collections, and I saw one of her fabric collections kits at a vendor shop when I went to a quilt show last month, a month ago. I still have to post that. I went to the Four Counties Quilters Guild quilt show, and so anyway, I saw a Teresa Kogut quilt kit there. I'm like, oh my gosh, awesome. But anyway, here is this chart, and look at how cute, and I love the stackies and the witch. So this one is Hazel's Halloween Friends. So the witch, she has the cat on a leash, she's holding a lantern, and then on top of the cat is a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern, and on top of the jack-o'-lantern is like a raven or a crow. So cute. And then from the Calico Confectionery, this is Reindeer Run. How pretty is that with the little reindeers? And then she sent me, this is by Artful Offerings, and it's Happy Halloween Companion. So there's a jack-o'-lantern, and he's wearing his striped sweater, his bow tie. He's got the black cat also with a party hat, and the spider, and then a zigzag border. I saw this and immediately said, I have to stitch this. So without delay, I went and got some fabric and I finished it. So before I show you my finish, I just want to say thank you again so much to Sally for sending me this. I really super duper appreciate it. So thank you. And so now here's my finish of Happy Halloween Companions. I stitched this. I believe this is a fabric flare fabric. So it's a printed fabric. So the back is plain linen, and then the front is where it got printed on. This is a spider web fabric. This fabric was gifted to me a couple years ago by Karen. Thank you, Karen. So I was able to use it. And because of the pattern of this, I decided to omit the border, which is a zigzag border, and I omitted the spider and the moon, and I just stitched the cat and the jack-o'-lantern gentleman. And so here is my finish, and I love him so much. I don't know how close, if I'm gonna leave like a big border so you can see the spider web, or if I'm going to do it a little closer when I finish it, if I'm going to do a pillow or a frame or a stand-up. I'm not quite sure, but I think they are so cute. Let me show you my colors I used. For the stripes, instead of using just an orange, I decided to use May's Days. Oh, this is just black 310 I have on the side. But this is the May's Days, and this color was from the September color box, Color and Cotton. So I used that, and what I did is I completed each stitch so that you get the maximum variegation. So I completed each stitch, and then so that's where all the different colors come in. I used, for the white, I ended up using, this is a discontinued color by Color and Cotton called Persephone, and it's got like it's like a gray purple. Then I used Valor. This was from her like patriotic box several years ago. This month's color, it's a purple, the Mystical. And this month's color, Hallows Eve. And August Club color from last year, August 2022 color, Goosebumps. So those are the colors, and I stitched with 2 strands of thread over 2 linen strands. And I believe this is a 30 count or a 32 count. It could also be a 28 count. I'm not sure. I didn't count it. But it is a linen, printed linen, and I love it so much. So those are my finishes. My 2 Halloween finishes. I have a third finish. This is a fully finish, and it is my quilt I finished. This is a throw blanket quilt that I did for my son. He loves Minecraft and Roblox, and he asked for his birthday this year for his room to be Minecraft themed. So I put up a new bed for him. We hung curtains. We put in a new light fixture. I got decorations, like Minecraft decorations. I got stuff like for him to do like DIY painting. So Minecraft, it's all very pixel. It's like a pixelated game where you build your own structures and stuff. And I had looked on Pinterest to see about making a Minecraft quilt for him. And he was like, I don't like any of I like the TNT. Well, there was no TNT, like TNT, I'm dynamite, like no, just quilts of TNT patterns. And so I decided to make my own. Well, Pinterest, there were a couple ladies, a couple bloggers, quilters that showed their small squares that they did that went into a larger quilt of the TNT. And so I extrapolated from that and decided I cut out all my pieces and laid it all out just like I would a cross stitch pattern and made this quilt. And I sewed it, I pieced it, sewed it, everything. I did everything myself, quilted it, did the binding, everything on my little brother, my basic brother sewing machine. I think I paid like $80 for my sewing machine 5 years ago. Like that, it's a super basic machine. That's what I used. And here is my quilt. So I will go ahead and I'll post in the video, I'll show you like the unveiling, but there are 4 or 5 different colored reds in here. And then I used 9 different whites for the white components. So I really tried to make it look like the sticks of dynamite in the different shades of red. And then I did like a gray, black binding, and then I just did a black back. And it's a throw blanket, so it's not very big, but he goes around the house and goes, "Look, Mom, I threw the blanket." So that is one of my finishes. So yay, that's what I have worked on. Do you want to see some of my other past fall finishes? Yeah? Okay, here we go. In no particular order, I pulled this all out of the box to show you. I'll show you, I think I have some of my own finishes, and then we'll do some thrift store finds. All right, so this is an oldie but a goodie. This is Cat O Lantern. I stitched this several years ago, and it's by Bent Creek, and I finished it into a pillow. Cat O Lantern. This is Home Sweet Haunted Home. This was in one of the Just Cross Stitch Halloween issues. I want to say it was like 2019 or 2020. All of these stitches I've completed in the last 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. This was a freebie by Jira. She is a Japanese cross stitch designer, and it is a UFO getting a cow, and I'm like, yes, please. So this was a freebie on her Instagram, so I stitched that up. This is Official Candy Inspector. Leave candy here for inspection. I stitched this on a printed Aida fabric. This is a 14 count Aida. I found it on Amazon, and it's like a celestial look to it. I stitched this, and then I haven't, as you can see, fully finished it, but it is on a flat fold. This was in Just Cross Stitch magazine. Boo! Another Just Cross Stitch magazine, kitty cat, Halloween issue. This is by Top Knot Stitcher, Trick or Treat. Super cute. This is stitched on a 16 count Aida. So cute, trick or treat. Then next, I want to say this was in last year's Just Cross Stitch. And I stitched this on, it's like a oatmeal even weave, or it might be a hardanger. I stitched it with 3 strands. Two or 3 strands, because it's a bigger fabric. So I finished that. And then this is a Prairie Schooler. And this is one that I totally messed up on. It was a big learning experience for me. I used just 1 strand of 12 weight here, and I didn't like that I could see the white underneath. So I went through and did 2 strands of DMC on the other one. So the witch is different than the corresponding, but I still think it looks awesome. All right. These are thrift store finds, fall finds that I have purchased and I've put up in my home. And this one was in, it's old, and the frame, and then I took it out of the frame. So, but I can just like set it down. So this is a needle point of a red barn with the autumn tree. This is a scene. I got this from Wonder Book in Frederick. So it's a used bookstore, but they had this framed and like back. I spent like $5 on it. I got it home. I took it out of the frame. I washed it. So I cleaned it, pressed it, and then put it on a acid-free mat board, and then put magnets. So this magnet's on a display thing. You can see the discoloration from the previous way it was framed. So, but I love it so much. So I'm so happy. This was a Save the Stitches, and I love it. My other Save the Stitches is this. This is fall, and I finished this. I found it wasn't all the way complete, but I got the DMC from, I think I color matched it. Someone found me the pattern. Anyway, I was able to finish the border, and I finished this as is. And this also, I put magnets, and I can put it up or just lean it up for flat fold. And then this is my last piece that I found at the thrift store. And here it is. I don't know. I think this looks autumn to me because of the oranges and stuff and the geese. I don't know, but the apples. So it just made me think it was fall-ish. So those are my thrift store finds, as well as this. I found at a thrift store. It's a really awesome beaded like placemat. Love it. All right. Some of my stitching now. This is Barbara Anna Designs. I got the pattern on Creative Poppy. It's like a rooster, but it reminds me with the colors of autumn. And this is stitched on a linen with the DMC. And then I finished it with just like a flannel. This was one of my very first patterns I ever did and it has a raven, and then the other bird is a crow, and Edgar Allan Poe. It's his tombstone and the date, and then the brick, and then the pendulum. And then I finished it with the cat, and then I did a piece of wool and then embroidered like a cat face. The next is Fall Friends. This, I believe, was in Just Cross Stitch, like their autumn issue. I don't think it was in their Halloween issue, but this was from 2022. and I loved the plaid, the wings and stuff, and the plaid and the squirrel. I did not use all the called for colors. I did some color conversions, and then I finished this like in just a 4x6 frame. The next piece I have is also a Barbara Anna Designs. This was in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine a couple years ago. I believe it's out now by the designer Barbara Anna, and you can get it on Creative Poppy. And this is Trick or Treat, and that kitty cat, love it. I stitched this on a lavender, like a lavender linen, and I love it. I finished it in a 5x7 frame from the thrift store, so it sits right up. This is a Lindy Stitches Stephanie Webb design, Apart But in My Heart. Apart But in My Heart. And I finished it with that. And I love this. Fun little note about this pattern. It came out in 2019 by Lindy Stitches Stephanie Webb. Look at the face of that ghoul friend. I decided to enter the competition that Stephanie put on for the best ex-ghoul friend, and I went ahead and painted my face green and did a whole little photo shoot just for Instagram in order to show my love, admiration, and overall respect for Stephanie and her design. And so this was my photo shoot of the ex-ghoul friend, including the triple chin. Very impressed with this. As you can tell, I am a huge cross-stitch fan. I love it. I don't know what else to say other than I love it. The other two pieces I have are two of my like very first things I ever designed ever. I never came out with a chart of these. I just stitched these to stitch them. So this one is Create Magic 24/7, 365. You know, Halloween lives in my soul. Halloween all year round type of thing. And I finished it with this fabric. And then this is like a bouquet. And this was the first time, these were the first over-dyed threads I'd ever purchased. And it was like cinders and the fragrant cloves by Gentle Arts. So there's the blood oranges and the flowers. And then I tried beadwork for the first time. And this is on like a 14 count Ada. I did a spool finish here, testing out when I tried out the sulky variegated 12 weight cotton threads, and then I finished it onto a spool. This is one of my first ever punch needle patterns and designs that I ever created, and it's got sunflower, and it's a punch needle design that I created. So super fun. I did this one last year. This came out of a zombies book. I have the book listed on my website. I did not create the book. I forget that there's a couple of people. Anyway, this is Miss Zombies USA. So I stitched that. It's on a 14 count Ada, and this is the Ada that came with the book, and then DMC, and it's a zombie. I just finished it in the hoop that it came with in the book, and then I put scrapbook paper behind it. This is my Prairie Schooler Halloween piece. I love this piece. I started this in March last year, right after my mother passed away, and I started stitching this on the plane to California, and then I ended up finishing it, and I love it. I'm so happy I got it done. I finished it and framed it in a frame. I just took the glass out and framed it. I love this piece. I love this piece. I don't know. I've had this out all year. This piece has not been in my Halloween stitching box. So I've admired this all year, and I love it. The next piece is one of the first, this was Cottage Garden Samplings, the first piece I ever stitched of hers, and I love it. This is Dream, part of her bird series. I want to do her Christmas cardinal one from a couple years ago, but I love the pumpkin house. I love this so much. This was a huge learning experience for me. I loved doing this piece. I finished it in a frame that I got, I think on Amazon. I took out the plexiglass. I keep this one out year round in my home. I love it so much. All right, the last two pieces I have, this one is a thrift store find. I think my husband actually found this one. This is a needlepoint piece, and it's an acorn, and oh, it's so cool. And it's got some really neat specialty stitches and metallics and bird charm, and then they finished it and it's quilted on the around. I love this piece. So I'm gonna put that up. And then this is my witch piece that I stitched. It was, the other half of it is a skeleton in a coffin, and I didn't stitch this part. This is an out of print chart. I ordered these little buttons, and I put the star buttons and the little tiny miniature buttons up, and I stitched this with one strand of sulky on her dress on a 14 count that I dyed, and then I ended up doing her hat with 2 strands. And this was, again, another huge learning experience for me, using like buttons for the first time, and then really learning about coverage and whether or not I liked one strand on 14 or one strand on 16 count if you're using 12 weight thread. And my answer is 16 count is my favorite if I'm stitching with one strand. Those are my fully finishes. And then I have a stack of haven't been finished yet. Oh, I do have a fully finished. I showed you guys this recently. It was the Lindy Stitches. And I guess you can't see it from there. It was a fair finish. I finished for the fair, and I want to stitch the other. So I finished this one, and I have it up here, but I want to start him. I love him. So this was Purple Transport, and then this one is Halloween Tales Frankenstein Cat. I want to do him. All right, these are my other themes. This was by Helen D on Flosstube. Hi, Helen. I want to finish this on a spool, and it says needle, thread, fabric, and Flosstube. This is by Top Knot Stitcher. Have the best autumn available to you. This is on my dyed fabric. It's an 18 count, and I stitched it with one strand of the Cottage Garden threads out of Australia. This was one of my first ever things that I ever designed, and I've got to fully finish it already. I think I've showed this on Flosstube like 3 years now, and I still haven't finished it. This was in Just Cross Stitch ornament issue. This is my fabric I dyed for Tundra Swans, my Chesapeake Bay Treasure series. This is the fabric. So this is an 18 count Ada. This was a fabric remnant that I cut out that I couldn't use in my kits, and so I used it for the bubbles there. This was I believe a heart in hand, and it had the lady dot trim finishes. So I've got to finish that. Boo. Halloween sloth. I love him. Or her. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I've got to figure out how to finish this one. And then I have Spooky, one of my very first things I ever charted. And Happy Harvest. First thing I ever charted, and I used buttons, figuring out buttons. This I got at the thrift store, and I took it out of the frame and I washed it and pressed it. You can still see the staining from the hoop that it was in. I've got to figure out how to fully finish that, but it's because it's so cute. And then here, Beware of Cat. It's the same designer as this. Love them. Birds of a Feather. Birds of a Feather. That's the designer name. beware of cat, and witch. So those are my goodies. So, hey, I'm so happy that you joined me this week to talk cross stitch, see my fall finishes. If you are so inclined, again, I'm going to be teaching at the retreat up in Cape May, New Jersey, November 10th and 11th. So excited. I've got that Halloween themed styled Halloween, but not Halloween box coming out with Under the Sea fabrics. There's a Christmas box that's coming out by the Black Needle Society this year, and I'm in that box. Oh my gosh, so many things. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Please remember that you matter, your stitching matters, and you're awesome. Okay, take care. Until next time, happy stitching.